All right, guys. So I know I've probably at this point released my ranking of all 11 live action Star Wars films. So you might be wondering why we're doing a tier list, and that is simply because I want to, because I like tier lists. And so I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun. I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do. It's going to be just a little bit more laid back. We're just going to be talking kind of off the cuff about things. I'm sure I'm going to repeat a lot of things I said in previous videos, but that's okay because, hey, maybe some people don't want to see a ranking, you know? Maybe some people just want to see a tier list, and tier lists are fun. I like tier lists, and so we're going to do one. And without further ado, let's get into the tier list. So, first movie up is Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. By the way, we have S, A, B, C, and D. I'll just be using the ones that they gave me because I don't really see a big reason not to. These are, by the way, all the live-action Star Wars films that we ranked previously. So we're going to be starting off with Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones, like I've said a lot of times, it has good things in it. It also has some really awful things in it. And so for that reason alone, I'm so tempted to put it in the A tier just because I'm a troll. But I'll put it in the D tier. I think, I'm not comparing Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones to perhaps other cinema in general. It's not atrocious, but just as a Star Wars fan, I think I have to put it in the D tier because, I mean, just those scenes with Anakin and Padme alone are some of the worst anythings that I've ever seen in cinema. I mean, the rest of the movie is okay, but I just have to put it in the D tier. So, by the way, if you can't tell, I mean, the way that this is different from the actual ranking where I rank one by one the live action Star Wars films. This is just more casual. We're just going to go off the cuff and just talk about things and see where they land. So, next film up is Episode 5, Attack of the Clones. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, which is going in the S tier. If any Star Wars movie is going in the S tier, it is Episode 5. I'm going to scroll down a little bit so you guys can see the posters at the bottom. Episode 5, Attack. Why do I keep saying that? Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Can you imagine if... I guess Episode 5... Well, I guess Attack of the Clones is technically the 5th Star Wars movie made, so maybe that's why. So I'll just, I'll switch their places really quick. No, I will keep it the way it is because I think The Empire Strikes Back is truly the embodiment of what Star Wars is. It is all the good things about Star Wars wrapped into one beautiful package of despair, but also hope, but also loss, but also gain, and all that kind of stuff. I think that while I do. Think that some of the older filming techniques and just the way that films were made almost 40 plus years ago, they do show a little bit in these original trilogy films that you can't deny how good of a film that The Empire Strikes Back, at least to me, is. So Empire Strikes Back goes in the S tier. And I also want to say that if these rankings don't exactly line up with the way that I rank them, sorry about it, but this is just kind of going off of vibes, general vibes. I maybe a film is going to be ranked in a little higher tier than maybe you would have thought based on my actual rankings. So maybe my actual rankings haven't even come out yet. So this is sort of a precursor, but I think this video will be coming out after the actual rankings. Just sort of a little fun video that we're going to do here. So next film up is The Force Awakens, and I will put The Force Awakens in the C tier. I don't think it's a D tier film. I don't think, I mean, it could be a B tier, but just having watched A New Hope and Return of the Jedi so close to The Force Awakens just made me realize just how similar of a movie this was to the original Star Wars. And I don't know, it didn't sit well with me. I could see it being closer to the D tier than the B tier, honestly. So I just was a little upset with the way that the film watching experience went because I could just tell that there was so little resolution, I guess, in The Force Awakens. It was all just kind of set up. So that didn't quite sit well with me. But hey, it's a watchable film, but I'll put it in the C tier. Last Jedi, sorry guys, I don't care. A tier. It has some things I don't like about it, for sure. I'm going to scroll down again just so you guys can see the posters at the bottom. It has some things I don't like about it, absolutely. It also has some things that I just absolutely love. I think the last hour of The Last Jedi is beautiful. I don't care. I know a lot of people would want to put it like in an F tier, in a D tier, but I personally think it's A tier for me. S tier I thought about for a split second, but I think that there's enough in The Last Jedi that I don't like about it that I'm going to put it in the A tier for now. So there's that. Now, A New Hope I will also put in the A tier, and I'm not ordering these guys, don't look too much into me putting it here or putting it before, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to put them in that order. I think that A New Hope is a great Star Wars movie. It's the introduction to the world of Star Wars. You know, it's what we love about Star Wars. But again, I think that it's enough of sort of an intro phase of Star Wars that it's enough for me to kind of go, yeah, you know, maybe it's not my favorite Star Wars film of all time, and it doesn't quite have that it factor like five does. And I think that while it doesn't have a lot of, you know, enough things that I dislike about it, just like I like how I dislike certain elements of The Last Jedi, it also is just so consistently good as a Star Wars film that I have to put it in the A tier for sure. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is kind of a hard film to put in a tier. On the one hand, quality-wise, probably C tier, but kind of entertainment-wise, B tier. I'm going to put it in the C tier for now, I think, but I could make a case, like, if I were ordering these, and I'm not, I could put a case that even though I think The Force Awakens is much more watchable, I think just purely on entertainment value alone, The Phantom Menace might be even higher, but I'll just put it here for now. Again, I think that there's something to be said about, I don't know, just the way that the film is so unabashedly a children's movie, and how like that can be entertaining in a certain way. But again, it still has some things in it that I just go, yeah, like Jar Jar Binks and all the goofiness and silliness that it's like, yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't quite know about that. So I'll put Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace in the C tier for now. Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, is also going in the A tier. Again, to me, you know, the S tier is kind of in its own category, but for now, I guess it's just the Empire category for now. I haven't thought about this too much in advance. This is just kind of, you know, what I'm feeling in the moment. So I could be convinced to move this up to the S tier. I could also be convinced to move this up to the S tier. Let me move that back where it was before. Also, The Last Jedi as well. But I think that this feels right to me. You know, I think that these films together make some sense to me. I think that I love the ending of Return of the Jedi. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. I love the ending of Return of the Jedi, but I just don't quite think it has that same level of that extra level up, if you will, of The Empire Strikes Back. Are we going to put any films in the B tier? I think we might. I'm looking at the films that we have left. I think we might, but we'll see. Next film up, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, and I think this is going to be the only other film to join Empire in the S tier. I know that might be unpopular. I love Rogue One. You don't understand how much I love Rogue One. I'm sure you do, actually, by this point, but Rogue One, to me, just what an amazing film. Sorry, I'm going to highlight Rogue One up here. I don't know where to scroll to. Because it doesn't fit in one screen. But anyways, I love Rogue One. I think that the character development for what that movie is truly incredible, what they were able to do. And I think obviously the story is riveting, it's engaging, and I think Rogue One is a fantastic movie. So I'm going to put it in the S tier. I know not everyone's going to agree with that. Some people might, but again, you know, Rogue One, S tier for me. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, I think is going to be the only film that's going to go in the B tier. I think that while there are some things I really don't like about Revenge of the Sith, I also think that there's enough there that I go, yeah, I mean, but it's watchable and it's actually quite enjoyable in most parts. So I think B tier feels appropriate for a film like Revenge of the Sith, where I think C. Again, C is just more of like for me. It's not quite average. It's not quite really, you know, bad, but it's just kind of for me. And I think Revenge of the Sith, has enough in there where I can go, yeah, I'll put it in the B tier for sure. Solo: A Star Wars Story, though, is the definition of a C tier film, and at least in terms of this. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. In terms of at least what we have going on up here, I think that this is basically the definition of a C tier film. I'm not going to talk about it too much. And then The Rise of Skywalker. It's hard. And again, you're going to see here, I think maybe it lines up with my ranking thus far, but I think that the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is going to be the first difference, because while I may not have ranked it this low in the initial ranking, I think I'm going to put it in the D tier just because it's this culmination of what I didn't like about both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. It's obviously my least favorite sequel film, but and it's watchable. It's absolutely watchable, unlike certain parts of The Phantom Menace that I don't think are quite watchable. And even parts of Revenge of the Sith, and even some parts of Return of the Jedi, not unwatchable, but just kind of oddly out of place. But I do think that just what the encapsulation of what The Rise of Skywalker embodies, I think it's just kind of the worst of what Star Wars has to offer. You know, it's this weird repetitiveness of trying to copy A New Hope, but also trying to weirdly wrap up all these weird threads that have been, laid out in these two films. And I think that this just kind of feels appropriate. And I didn't mean for it to be symmetrical. We can obviously put Rise of Skywalker in the C tier if, we really want to get technical about it. But I think that this feels kind of right. So S tier, we have Empire Strikes Back. We have Rogue One. Feels good to me. Just looking to see if I want to make any changes, but I don't think so. I feel good about this. A tier, we have Last Jedi, and we have A New Hope, and we have Return of the Jedi. Feels good to me. B tier, we have Revenge of the Sith. Feels good to me. C tier, Force Awakens. We have Phantom Menace, and we have Solo: A Star Wars Story, and in the D tier rounding out, we have Attack of the Clones. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tier list, guys. I think that this, is just a fun little wrap-up thing to do when looking back at all 11 films, and I think that I feel good about the way that I've ranked these films. So let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. I'm sure you guys disagree with me. Check out the ranking that I did also of all 11 films. That video, I go much more in depth as to the reasons why I don't like and dislike the video. This is just sort of a fun little, let's do a tier list. And I like tier lists, and so we did one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and subscribe to the Access Blockbusters YouTube channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.